Hello again, I am Blunty, and this time I've got Vince Kudirka, whose last name is awkward to say, but he was...
Nailed it, though.
I nailed it, excellent. The lead producer on the Wii version of Force Unleashed 2. How are you, mate?
Good, I'm great.
I'm tired myself.
It's been a long day, right? Yeah. Fun day.
So take me through the process of your first thoughts when you get told you're doing the Wii version of Force Unleashed 2, because the Wii has the reputation of being the more kiddie console. It's underpowered compared to the others. It's a hell of a lot of fun when you get the games right. So what's it like doing having to do Force Unleashed 2 on a system like that?
For the Wii?
Yeah.
You know, I actually think that it's fun to do a game like Force Unleashed 2 in the Wii. You know, I think the controller itself for the Wii, it's a challenge to work with, but I think it's kind of fun because you can really, especially since we built this game, you know, to be specifically for the Wii, and there's all these cool force powers, you know, you can grab stuff, you have two lightsabers. So we really thought about, like, how can we make that into, like, a really great Wii game?
Yeah.
And
it's worth noting too, it's not just a port of the other ones, it's from ground up built for the Wii.
Yes, that is a good thing to point out. It's made for the Wii. It is a completely different game. We follow the same story, but all the levels are totally different. You know, in terms of the level design, the layout, we have new powers, all that kind of stuff. So it was really fun thinking about, like, how to make the powers work on Wii and how to make the the lightsaber feel good and all that kind of stuff. So it was a fun challenge, I think.
Now you've cut down on the waggle battle this time around,
Yeah,
haven't you? They've just used that to activate the special powers, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be thankful for. Is that sort of denying the cliche of playing a Wii game? Was that important to you?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was. We did a lot of focus testing, actually, with guys and girls that like to play the Force Unleashed 1. So we got them all in a room, we got multiple groups together, and we said, you know, hey, what would you change? What didn't you like about the first one? What did you like? And that was one of the big things that came out, is everyone's like, you know, there's too much of the waggling going on. It's because anytime you want to use a lightsaber at all in the first game, you had to waggle. And so we thought, all right, well, the problem is we don't want to just get rid of it, because then you lose that cool kind of visceral, like, hey, you know, it's like a lightsaber, right? So we wanted to keep that in some way, but not have it be all the time. So we refined the lightsaber controls, and now you do that for special attacks instead of just all the time. So you kind of build up to these special attacks, and then you use that movement to unleash them.
Now, like I said before, the Wii is the underpowered system. What sort of challenges did you have doing a game like this on a system like that, where you do have some hard limits of what you can do compared to the other consoles when you're doing direct comparisons?
That's a great way to put it. I mean, you do have limits on what you can make the game look like and all that kind of stuff. Our developers, Redfly, and they actually were founded by artists. They were founded by a couple of artists that still run the place. So they've done a couple of games on the Wii. They did a Ghostbusters game on the Wii, and they really know what they're doing with it. And so we were able to achieve a look with it it's not super, like, hyper realistic. That's really what you get with the 360 and the PS3. I mean, you know, you have rain running down a window. It looks like rain running down a window. You know, it's good. So we knew that we couldn't, get that kind of fidelity of detail in there, but they got a look which I think is really cool for the Wii. It's not cartoony or kiddie in any way, but it's a stylized, more artistic look. But it really works, and the game has great performance. I mean, I try to break the frame rate, make it slow down by, like, throwing things around, doing that stuff, and you can't. I mean, the game is really rock solid in that way. So I think they got the best of both worlds, where it looks cool, looks great for the Wii especially, but it runs really well too.
And the Wii can do stuff that the other consoles can't. I mean, you've got the 4-player battle mode that we had a look at earlier today, which is, for the people watching, if you haven't seen my other video on it, kind of like Super Smash Brothers, but with lightsabers.
That's right. Actually, the game they say that influenced them was something called Outfoxies,
right?
Which is an older game, but they say obviously there's some Smash influence in there too. But yeah, that's, like you said, it's that's something that you can do on the Wii that you can't do anywhere else. Is have 4 players sitting there together doing that thing. And I really. I think we had fun playing it today, and I think the multiplayer is a really, really cool feature. It's perfect for the Wii too, which is it's that kind of party console, you invite your friends over, or you have a bunch of kids on a couch, or it's like in a dorm room, that kind of thing.
It's that sort of 3 to 5 minute play time, switch players, go again.
Exactly right. And during development, we actually had tournaments. We put these brackets together and had all these tournaments, and that was a ton of fun too. When we did elimination and all this stuff, we could figure out, like, what's the best character, and they spent a lot of time balancing it and really getting all the different characters to have different powers and different abilities, but they're all kind of equally good. There's a couple that I think are especially good, but it all depends on who you play, I guess.
So who was the better player out of the development team then?
Oh man, I can't remember the guy who won it. I made it to like the third round, which for, just jumping in. These are all the guys that they designed the nitty gritty of it. Like they're tweaking all the numbers and the code and everything. These guys know everything about it. So for me to last as long as I did was actually impressive. I did a lot of just running away and letting everybody beat each other up, and then I'd get
hiding in the corner.
Yeah, that was my strategy.
Finish themselves off.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you mentioned before that there's some unique force powers in this version. What are we doing? What are they?
So yeah, there's a few unique force powers for the Wii. There's one called Force Sight, which basically it gives you, I guess you could say it's X-ray vision. The lore is that you're reaching out with the Force and you can sense things that are around you. So you can see invisible enemies. There's some invisible enemies in the game that the best way to fight them is you put on Force Sight and then you can see them and you can fight them. When you're fighting a boss, it highlights the weak points on the boss, so you kind of are like sensing where you can attack this guy. So that's something specific for the Wii. And we also have a different lightsaber combo system. So you basically chain together attacks on a group of enemies, and you build up this kind of threshold. And then when you reach certain levels of that threshold, then you unleash the attack using that arm movement I was talking about. And the top sort of lightsaber combo move just nukes the whole room. It's called Unleashed, I think it's called. So that's pretty cool too. I really like that you can. There's a reticle on the screen that you can use the Wii remote, the pointer on the Wii remote. You can point it at guys and actually pick them up, pick up objects in the room. It's very precise. Right. That you can grab guys like that. And then I think there's another force. I'll think about it. I want to say if there's another. I don't want to leave any out, but yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for unique Wii moves. Yeah. Force Rage. That's the other one.
Right, I was just trying
that's that's like the ultimate move in the game. So the ultimate move in the game is Force Rage, where basically you enter, it's kind of a bullet time mode, and then you use the reticle from the Wiimote to paint different targets, so you can paint a bunch of different enemies. Like if you don't want to attack that guy, you can attack these three or whatever. And then when the timer runs out, you just one-shot each of those bad guys. So it's a really powerful move.
It's kind of a quick time event. You pick out your targets, and then the character just goes nuts on the screen, right?
Yeah, that's kind of true. Although you can move around during it, it's like bullet time, But as soon as you hit all right, kill those guys, then it goes into kind of the quick time, like just nukes them.
Yeah, I saw that in the demo. Right? It looked wicked.
Yeah, it's awesome when there's an enemy that takes a really long time to kill. You're just like, rage, you're done.
Now, if you had one sentence to convince people to play this over the other versions of the game, what would it be?
It's fighting words. So one sentence, I would say, if you're a big fan of the Wii and you love the Wii, Force Unleashed is an awesome, awesome game because you have the kick-ass single player and the 4-player multiplayer.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Alrighty.